It came as a surprise to many. After half a century in law enforcement, San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore is retiring early. Welcome back. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cecchetto. Some say he's rushing out the door to avoid accountability for problems in his department. In his first interview since announcing his early departure from office on February 3rd, he told me why he's leaving now and stands by his record as sheriff. Sheriff Gore, you announced last summer that you wouldn't be seeking office again, but said at that time that there were no plans to leave office early. You're leaving office early. What changed?
I've been blessed to have a family that, particularly my wife, who supported me in my 32-year career in the FBI and now almost 19 years with the Sheriff's Department. That involved 9 moves around the United States, moving my family. She gave up a very successful law enforcement career as a special agent, one of the first female agents in the FBI, to support me and take care of our son as we were growing up. And being the wife of an elected official is no easy job either, living through 3 countywide elections. And she's been dealing with some health issues. Now, from my perspective, it's my time to maybe sacrifice for her as she did for me for, our 43 years of marriage. To me, it was a pretty easy decision.
But skeptics and critics wonder if the sheriff is leaving now, 10 months early, to avoid scrutiny with an upcoming state audit related to deaths in San Diego jails.
I think there's a misconception that's been put out there that we don't care, that I don't care. Nothing could be further than true. I don't want anybody to die in my jails. We look forward, as I said, to the audit done by the state. Hopefully will be some good recommendations, things we can learn from and learn ways to improve our operations. I'm excited to say that this Board of Supervisors has funded us to the level that we've been asking for years. We're going to hire probably 250 more people, the deputies, nurses, and mental health clinicians to work in our jails to hopefully get us up to the level that we can get national accreditation from the National Commission on Correctional Health Care. So there's all those things we're doing. We can always be better. We don't want anybody to die in our jails, but I think we're on the right track, and if this audit can help us, that's great.
He says jail issues are amplified by the homeless situation and is encouraged by the recent push by Mayor Todd Gloria and Governor Gavin Newsom to look at increasing the use of conservatorships to help those with severe mental illness and drug problems. He also strongly supports the Board of Supervisors creating specialized units to deal with mental health crises.
The mobile crisis response teams, a lot written about law enforcement shouldn't be involved in some of these mental health calls. Couldn't agree more. But what's been the alternative in the past? So now hopefully we'll have, when the person's not violent, not acting out, there is an alternative to that. You'll have mental health clinicians responding to get that person help in the community. Also, maybe keep them out of our jail system.
Gore was appointed to replace Sheriff Bill Collender, giving him a definite advantage in his first election. His favored replacement, Under Sheriff Kelly Martinez, says she will not accept such an appointment, preferring voters choose from a clean slate. Either way, he says Martinez is right for the job.
When I look at this office, I think I'm one of the few people that knows the importance and the challenges of being the sheriff of the county and the importance of the job. In my opinion, Kelly Martinez, a 36-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department, has all those qualities. She is doing this for the right reasons.
He says the biggest challenges facing whoever replaces him include filling newly budgeted mental health positions, a tall task, and maintaining San Diego's collaborative law enforcement spirit.
To look at issues like drugs and our white-collar crime or gangs, our violent crimes, and putting together law enforcement from different agencies, not just local, but federal, state, and local, all together, and attacking that crime problem together. So we're not reinventing the wheel, we're not duplicating resources. It just doesn't happen in other parts of the country.
There are other challenges. Recent reports, one commissioned by the department, showed marked racial disparities when it comes to the use of force and traffic and pedestrian stops.
Just because the number of stops is not exactly equate to the number of blacks or other community of color in our community doesn't mean that stop was based on bias. There's so many socioeconomic issues that we face every day, that our citizens face every day in our community, from high unemployment, from poor educational opportunities, from substance abuse in these different communities. And I'm not saying that it's because of they're from communities of their race, but because of the environment and the opportunities they had in their particular neighborhood. You're going to see disparities in those numbers. Ours are lower than almost anyone I've seen. That doesn't mean that we can't always look at the underlying causes. Is there bias? If there is, we'd work very hard in our training to eliminate that.
And the sheriff points with pride to the diversity in his department, saying his personnel reflect the communities they serve.
It's hard to explain why some of these numbers do not exactly align. I don't think they ever will. But the fallback position when they don't align shouldn't automatically be, oh, that police officer, that deputy sheriff is biased. There's a lot of other reasons that go into activity and stops.
We'll have more from that interview with the sheriff before he leaves office on February 3rd. Look back at his career a little bit more. Marcella, no matter what, it's a big job for whoever takes over. $1 billion budget, a huge coverage area, and almost 5,000 employees. A lot going on.
It is. Those are some big shoes to fill. Carlo, I know you talked to him for an hour, so I'm looking forward to hearing more of what he has to say over the next few weeks. But, when you are an elected official, you live and breathe that job. It doesn't end 9 to 5. So I think it's going to be a really new world for him to be a man out of public office. Does he talk about possibly missing it all of the demands on his time?
You talked about the elected part. I don't think he's going to miss the political aspect at all. Running for office and being law enforcement, he doesn't feel like go together. He didn't feel right about that. But he said he never didn't want to go to work, except for a couple of days in his career. He was always enthusiastic about going to work, and he absolutely will miss what he calls his work family, the people he works with. He has a lot of deep relationships there, and he's going to miss those people for sure.
Can just meet them for lunch now,
I'm
right?
sure he can. He'll have some free time.
Thanks so much, and thank you, Sheriff Gore, for sharing your thoughts with us here at CBS 8.